drive, he's Todd. He's tall, he's mean, he's a labeling machine, he's Todd. Rides a motorbike, he'll tell you what it's like, he's Todd. Don't know what he'll say, might scare the kids away, he's Todd. He's Todd.
Hey, let's hear it for Dan Cobb's biggest fan, Dan Cobb. So Dan, thank you very much. Great introduction. That was awesome. So keep your day job though, Dan. Hey, thanks again. This is episode 14 of BS with Todd. Brother Solutions, if you will. I hope everyone is well out there. I appreciate you joining me. We're going to go bi-weekly after this. Obviously, you can see it's a big production to put these things on. And so we're going to let it soak for a little while. And Kelly, at the end of this, will put up on screen what we're talking about in 2 weeks. But that will be data center labeling. So, again, I hope everyone's well out there. Big shout out to my primo, Mr. Lance Barassa. He manages the local Gray Bar branch here. So if you need anything locally in the Southern California area, hit Lance up down in San Diego. So I appreciate you and the team joining me this morning. Today we're going to talk about manufacturing and warehousing. Not the most exciting thing, but you know what? They need labels too. And speaking of labels, week number 16 for these guys right here. As you can see, I got a flag and I got a cable wrap in each one of these. This one is actually in oil. This one is in water. So you can see, and what a great segue into the manufacturing and warehousing, because sometimes those can be dirty, greasy, grimy environments, and you need a very robust label to stand up in those environments. So the majority of the show today, oh, Jamie, where are you? We missed you. Jamie, where are you? We missed Jamie last week. There he is. There's Grandpa Munster. Hey, Mr. Al Lewis, folks, Mr. Al Lewis. Jamie's going to be in the background as usual, my lovely assistant, answering any questions you may have regarding today's subject of manufacturing and warehousing. So if you have any questions, please direct them to Mr. Jamie on the Q&A section, and he'll answer them to the best of your ability. It's a lovely day here in Carlsbad, California. The sun's out. I think it's a good time for a ride after this, huh? After work hours. Sorry, I think Craig's out there. Anyway, with that being said, I'm going to actually hand over the mic to Mr. Dan Cobb. And Dan, you have exactly, you know what? We'll give you 19 minutes and 30 seconds. How's that?
You're going to give me 19 minutes and 13 seconds.
19 minutes and 30 seconds.
You're going to give me a warning and tell me kind of when to.
No. I'll just shut you off. Yeah, I control the mute button here. So. With that being said, I'm going to turn the floor over to Mr. Dan Cobb. Dan kind of spearheads, along with Rob Dawkins, the efforts into labeling for manufacturing and warehousing. Dan is essentially the MRO manager. And so Dan is going to run you through a plethora of different types of labeling applications for manufacturing and warehouse. So not to take up any more of your 19 minutes and 30 seconds, Dan.
I only have 18.
All right. Well, make it snappy. It's all you, buddy. Take it away.
All right. Thanks, Todd. Thanks for having me. This is awesome. I want to thank everybody for jumping on today's webinar, and I want to thank Todd for having me on. This is really cool. When I first started working with Todd, we went on a handful of calls, a bunch of calls together, and he taught me a lot of stuff. So watching these episodes every week is just a lot of fun, and I'm still learning quite a bit. And I've been with Brother almost now for right around 5 years. So you get to learn something new all the time, which is great. I'm going to spend the next probably 18 minutes, because Todd's going to cut me off short, talking about MRO manufacturing and labeling. It's massive in the MRO market or the manufacturing market. And I'll show you, I actually pulled this slide up, and I'm going to walk you through some of these different slides. If I can figure out, here we are, share screen. I'm going to hit this button here and share this screen with everybody so that you can see it. This is one of our very, very old pieces, but it really shows where labeling is done in the manufacturing environment. And I'm looking up this way because that's where my other monitor is. It's right there. But this shows all the different pieces in manufacturing. When you take a look around here, there's just a massive amount of labels that are being used. Now, in the next 18, maybe 17 and a half minutes now, I'm not going to be able to walk you through each one of these different features, but we could talk about a couple of them. One of the things that I do want to talk about is to make sure that that all this labeling is being done in all the manufacturing facilities. So when you're working with your customers, or if you are an end user and you're out there and you're looking at what are you actually doing, how much are you spending on your labels, and how many different label printers do you have all over the place? All these labels right here that we're looking at on this screen, or over there, wherever that it happens to be, those can all be made with different brother printers. And we've just added a couple new products, and we can even do more. And I'll kind of walk you through a little bit of that today. But let's start taking a look at one of these, which is a really, really cool application, and it's a calibration label. Okay, calibration labels. Let me share my other camera. I'm going to stop the share here, and I'm going to show you what I did last night. This is a lot of fun. I'm going to use my other camera here. So this is what I did last night. I had a gangbuster of a time creating different labels so I could show everybody really what we could do. You take a look at that, where people are using those labels, and those are the labels that I printed, and I printed them just on these machines that we have here. We've got a number of different machines here as well. So here's the calibration label that I was talking about earlier. That calibration label is just a basic label, and I got a little fancy with it. I created a new calibration label with the reverse print on it and different things like that. So I kind of want to show you how simple it is to create those calibration labels, and what I did last night too, again, because of course Todd asked me to jump in and help out here, was I created a video. Okay, so I created this video. This is using iPrint Label. In iPrint Label, what I did, I'll just walk you through what we're doing here, is I typed something in. It says calibrated. Of course, I had to adjust the font. I had to do this and that. And this is just as simple as you're playing with a mobile app. So I wrote the word calibrated. After that, then I went ahead, I typed my name in there. I typed the due date. I typed all that other information. This is just in a mobile app that's absolutely free. You can type that in. Now, the really unique thing that I did in here, and I'll try to fast forward a little bit so I don't have to continue to talk over top of that. The really unique thing that I did here after I put due date in there was, instead of typing in the date, what I did was I went in there and I inserted a date stamp. So you can see I picked whatever kind of format I wanted. Then I just adjusted the font. The next date stamp that I put in there was a date stamp that's 30 days out. Now, what happens in iPrint and Label is that label template, instead of you having to change the date every single time, it basically looks at the date on your mobile device, and you can go ahead and hit print at any point in time. If I were to print that label today, and I probably will print that label today to show you that now it's going to reflect today's date, and it's going to push the date out 30 days beyond that. So all you have to do is either change the name or create multiple labels for anybody who's doing any calibration. You can use this in inspection labels. You can use this in any kind of labels that require a date. If you need a manufactured date, you can put a manufactured date. If you need a reorder date, you can use that. this pretty much does the work for you. It simplifies this process. It's absolutely brilliant. I love it. So I wanted to share that with you. And then I wanted to show you actually how it works. So I'm opening up my app right now, and you know what? I don't even know if I'm connected, so I might not show you how it works. I might just walk into a completely different application. Shows how prepared I was. Anyways, another application that I want to walk through is this one right here. These QR codes. Todd showed these QR codes earlier, and these QR codes you're starting to see everywhere. They're popping up everywhere. This one here, I created this. This is for a Brother TZE SDS sheet. So we have SDS sheets for our TZE tapes, and this right here links directly to that SDS sheet. So any kind of document that you find online, any kind of PDF that you find online, you can quickly create a QR code for it and drop that right on there. So let's say I have a chemical in the plant. I can go ahead and label that chemical right on there with the SDS sheet. So your employees, they don't have to go to the SDS book and pull that SDS book or anything like that. They could just do it really quickly, either using iPrint and Label or P-Touch Editor. I'm sorry. I'm losing my train of thought here because I have so many different things that I want to show you guys. So the calibration labels, that's big. Another application we had customers come to us for, this right here. This is just showing an image of what the product is inside there. This you can put on the bin. You can show your customers and say, hey, this is or you could show your employees instead of them looking for things over and over and over again. Same exact thing. I just took iPrint and Label. I inserted an image that I took of the product. I wrote chemical gloves on it. Now, when your employees go to a bin, they can find that product really, really quickly. What else did I want to show you? I wanted to show you some of these other labels that I created earlier, some flammables, some safety labels, do not enter labels, just a wide variety. One of the big things that I wanted to show was this right here. I think we walked through this earlier, but I want to make sure that we're reinforcing this, is our scan to print application. What we did was we created a bunch of labels right in this guy right here. And in order to print the label, it's as simple as just scanning a barcode and it prints that label for you. The beauty part about this is now you can actually put your labeling anywhere in the plant that you want. So here's my label. This is powered by a lithium-ion battery or an AC power adapter. It has a touch panel in it. This right here gives us today's date. It gives us a reorder date on it as well. So we can quickly grab that information. It actually gathers the information from a spreadsheet, pulls it into the label template, and prints it right there on demand. We have another one here that I created, which is a different type of label, and this is more in the manufacturing environment. We created the label template with a barcode, with our company logo, with everything on it, but also wanted to put a serial number on there. So if you look closely, you can see that serial number. That's how many times I actually scanned that, was the 53rd time. And that's all saved because there's a lithium-ion or not a lithium-ion battery. There's a coin cell battery in here. You type in the date, you type in the time, and it remembers that even after you power it down. So you can take this machine out to the manufacturing facility, out to the actual site itself, and create any type of label that you want on demand instead of stopping the job, going to create a label and coming back and applying the labels. Just take this right out to the job floor with you, or to the job site with you, and do it right there. One other thing that I wanted to talk about, like I said, I have so much and I have so little time to just shove as much at you as I possibly can. One of the most exciting things that we did was we launched this product right here. These two products, these are brand new. They were just added to our price book in April. They were added to our price book. These are our TD printers. We have a direct thermal label printer and we have a thermal transfer label printer. Both are used for different applications, or they can be used for the same application. It all depends exactly what you want. We could talk more about that, but we can also send follow-up information on that. What I wanted to show about this was the value in these guys. Now, I think these print up to 8 to 9 IPS, somewhere around 8 to 9. We gotta verify that information because unfortunately I didn't look for that before I got on here. I was looking for my guitar instead, but because I was kind of thrown on the spot there, but that's fine. That's good. But I wanted to show the value in this guy. So I created this label format. This is just using P-Touch Editor. I'm going to go into File. I'm going to hit Print here, and I'm going to show you how rapidly this thing actually prints. Just check this out. This is so cool. Speed is it. When you're talking about printers and you need to get something done, you can't get any better than this. This is absolutely incredible. I just printed 12 labels, all nutritional facts labels. Let's say you're working with a food manufacturer. This is something I just whipped up last night using P-Touch Editor. I pull it all together, and I have all my labels right then and there instead of waiting for everything to pull through over and over and over again. Where we really add value on this is on the warranty as well. A lot of manufacturers, they don't put their warranty on the print head, right? So a lot of times when you're using a printer like this, or you're using a printer like this, what's happening is the print head will go before anything, but unfortunately, there's no warranty on the print head. So you have to keep replacing those print heads over and over and over again. Well, in no time, you're probably paying twice as much for the printer. Well, our warranty covers not only the printer, but it also covers that print head as well. So if that print head goes, you just get a new print head and get that installed. We'll get that taken care of for you. It's brother at your side. So the difference between these guys, you have direct thermal. This just works on your standard paper. When you are printing a label, it's activated by heat. So the heat hits the paper and it changes colors, just like your receipt paper. These are great for your regular labeling. They're not chemical resistant, they're not UV resistant, and they are not they're not scratch resistant. They're just your standard short-term label applications, kind of like your like the receipts that you get. Now this guy over here, this is a thermal transfer label printer. That's completely different. There's a ribbon inside here, and there is the label inside there too. So the print head heats up the ink from the thermal transfer. It drops it right on top of the paper and bonds it to that paper as the label's printed. This does have a lot more resistance. This is for more longer term applications. This is what you want to use. Both of these have very similar print speed to them, and both of them have that print head that is that has that extended onto the warranty. So you're getting two great quality products. Here's an example of some of the labels that I created with that. When you're thinking about it, your standard shipping labels, right? So you can use your standard shipping labels. I showed this nutritional facts one. This is one that I printed, it was just a basic kind of template that was in one of the things. Here's something that you'll find on a manufactured product. Here's something I created, a little warning kind of label that you can put out there, and another corrosive label. So when you take a look at really what you can do with the label printers, just with this suite of printers and all these different labels here, it's absolutely crazy what you could do. And when you take a look back at this guy over here, this is what our customers are using. They're all over the place. Your barcoded labels, your warning labels, you have your asset management tags, everything. When you're working with your customers, ask them the question, what are you doing for labeling? And they'll tell you, well, over here, I got this label printer, over here, I got this label printer, over here, I got this label printer, over here, I got this label printer. This guy walks all the way over here to print labels, and this guy walks all the way over here to print labels. With the price of these guys, with these label printers, you can put a printer over here. You can afford to put a printer over here. You can afford to put a printer over here. Just really make it a lot more efficient than having one station that all these people have to stop their job, walk over, print the labels, and come back. just makes it so much simpler. So, Todd, we're getting close to my time. I think we're getting close to my time. If not, and you can extend it out a little bit more, I can walk through some other things.
Hey, Dan, you got a couple minutes, man. Be my guest.
Oh, I do. Good. I'm watching. I'm trying to be very cautious and watch my time. So, I did create another video that I want to show you guys, and I want to show you how simple it is. I don't know if you can see my screen.
I can.
You can see it? You can see the video there?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay. So I want to share this with you. This is really, really cool. We walked in a couple customers and we shared this information with them. We wanted to see if they could, I wanted to show them how they could simplify making the QR code that I showed earlier, the QR code for the SDS sheet. And this video kind of walks through it. So what I did here was I went onto a website and I pulled that PDF from the website. I pulled a URL from that PDF. Then I went to go create a new label. All I simply do is I hit that button that says barcode. I choose QR code. Then I paste it in the text that I copied from the URL right directly in there. Hit done. It creates that QR code. Now, when I scan that QR code, it goes directly to that URL. Now, think about this. You can use this every single location. These QR codes are popping up all over the place, and the easiest way to find anything in there is to grab your phone. Everybody has a phone on them. You just open up the camera app, and it takes you directly to that. Think about putting in contact information. You wanted to put your contact information in there. You wanted to put an instruction manual as to how to use your product or anything. It's as simple as using iPrint and Label or P-Touch Editor. I think iPrint and Label is so much easier because you can see that in a minute or two, I just created that label. Now I can go ahead and print as many of them as I want and put them on there. That's going to link directly to, and now we can, of course, save it. But that's going to link directly to that SDS sheet. So your employee can just quickly grab their phone and take a look at the SDS sheet. It's right there. It's at their fingertips. These are solutions that we have all over the manufacturing facility. There's so many of them. And I wanted to throw everything at you, but we only have a certain amount of time to talk today. And maybe I'll get in here. We'll find some other applications and we'll talk about those later on. But I just want to thank everybody for jumping on and checking out some of the different solutions that we have. I'm going to go back here so that I can, I'm going to stop my share there. I'm going to go back in here and change my camera so I can say thank you to everybody, and I can say thank you to Todd for having me on this episode. I want to thank you for having me live singing that really cool song too. That was really cool. It was very nice of you. Oh, and Todd?
Yeah.
Nice. I like that. Do me a favor, and you saw that picture. I know you did because I put it out there for you. So after last week, my wife, she came to me and she said, "Well, where did my picture of Todd go?" And so after this episode, give me a call and remind me to put that back because I got in a lot of heat last time. So I want to make sure.
No worries. Dan, I appreciate you coming on board this morning. Thank you very much. Very informative. So again, there's a whole plethora of different types of labels that we can use for warehouse environments. And Dan just touched on a couple. And so at the end of the segment, we'll show you some contact information for Dan and Rob, who specialize in these areas. Please reach out to either one of these guys for more information regarding warehouse labeling. And by the way, Brett Michaels, this is your future. So, so a couple of things I have in closing. Again, I want to thank everyone for showing up this week. We're going to go bi-weekly on this. We'll start again on June 30th, but we do have some, oh, look at this QR code. Didn't even notice that. We are going to, on July 30th, talk about some data center labeling applications. We're going to go into some grounding and bonding after that. We're going to go into asset management, which a favorite topic of this series seems to be barcoding and QR coding. And then on September 3rd, outside plant. I know you've noticed construction in your neighborhoods. You got 5G going everywhere. They're burying cables, and we're going to talk about some outside plants, and that's where our durable labels really fit into those harsh environments. One other piece of information, and I'm going to share my screen in just a second, Kelly, if you would, but our Bixie training is now actually live on brothermobilesolutions.com. If you go through my Bixie training, you're going to have to listen to this for a little while. You get 2 CECs, which is kind of cool. I know that we're kind of late to the game on this, but labeling is part of ANSI TIA requirements, and we're going to talk about 606C. I want to share this real quick. Let's see if I still have it up here. All right. Here we have that URL, and please reach out to us if you would. It's a little tough to find right now on the Brother Mobile Solutions site. Here's essentially what it looks like when you get down to, it's either under Datacom or electrical, but if you scroll down to the bottom, there's your certification. If you click on that, you have to register, obviously, and then at the end of the training, you can print out your own certificate. So, kind of cool. I'm also going to plan, and I'm going to stop my screen sharing here real quick. I'm also going to plan some live training here on Zoom, and we'll go across LinkedIn and we'll get it out there. But that way, folks can get on board, since I can't be there live one-on-one. To give the training course, you can certainly register, and we'll give you the CECs for that as well. With that being said, it's 10:27. Kelly, if you could put up the contact information for the rest of the team, that would be fantastic. So myself, I'm out here in Carlsbad, California. There's my information right there. We got Mr. Jamie Brook over in Virginia Beach. Here's Dan Cobb's information. If you would, maybe take a screenshot. If you have any questions regarding warehousing, manufacturing, please reach out to Dan. Also, Rob Dawkins specializes in that area as well. We got Mr. Bruce Page out on the East Coast. He's our counterpart. And then our glorious leader, I'm so glad he joined us this morning. He was having a hard time getting on, but dial-up it's tough to do sometimes. So Mr. Craig Robinson out in Bradenton, Florida. With that being said, please join us July 30th, I believe, for data center. And there's a lot to go over with data centers. I mean, a whole lot. So please join us if you would. Also, we have the poll right here. I love seeing the comments. I love seeing how you guys are taking this series. If you have any other topics you want me to touch on or the team to touch on, please reach out to any one of us, and we will we'll accommodate your request. So with that being said, please stay healthy. Please stay safe. I will see you in 2 weeks. Thank you very much.